There's a tree that stands on the edge of my land. Its roots have seen generations, and its branches whisper when the night grows still. Out here, when the sun dips low and the moon casts long, searching fingers across the land, the old banyan tree begins to speak. Most folks, they hear only the wind rustling through its 1,000 leaves, a simple shushing sound that lulls the world to sleep. They smile and say, "It is only the wind," and they pull their blankets a little tighter, content in their simple, comfortable explanation. And for a long time I believed them too. The wind can play many tricks on the ear, you see. It can moan like a man lost in sorrow or whistle a cheerful, carefree tune. It is a master of disguise, a storyteller of its own right. But one evening, a deep stillness fell upon me, a profound curiosity I could not shake. I walked to the great tree, its ancient, gnarled bark feeling rough and cool against my cheek as I leaned in. I did not just listen with my ears that night, I listened with my whole heart, with my very soul. And that is when I heard it. Beneath the sighing of the breeze, beneath the rustle of leaves and the gentle creak of old wood, there was something more. Voices. Not of the living, no. These were the voices of memory itself. They are faint, like echoes carried from a distant valley, and soft as the final, contented sigh of a day well lived. Yet they carry a startling clarity that pierces right through to the soul, as sharp and undeniable as a memory you thought you had long forgotten. It is the sound of a life, you see, imprinted upon the heartwood of this ancient witness. The tree does not forget. It holds every laugh, every tear, every promise made, and every secret whispered in its vast, protective shade. And it tells their stories. The branches sway with the sweet, melodic memory of a woman who shared her last piece of bread with a hungry stranger right here. Her kindness a gentle hum that lingers like the scent of night-blooming jasmine. But they also tremble with a different sound. A harsh, grating whisper that chills the air. It is the memory of a man whose heart was filled with envy and spite, whose cruel words were like stones cast into a quiet pool. His name is a sound of decay, a sour note that the wind tries to carry away but cannot. The tree remembers both, the blessing and the rot. It holds the truth of who they were, long after their footsteps have faded from the earth. Yes, this old tree, it has seen it all. One of its oldest branches, the one that reaches toward the morning sun, it whispers a story of a farmer named Elias. He was returning from market, his journey long, his pockets light, and his spirit weary. All he had left was a single piece of bread, saved for his supper. Beneath these very leaves he met an old woman, her eyes holding a hunger deeper than his own. Without a second thought, he broke his bread in two and gave her the larger piece. He expected nothing, but in that simple act a blessing took root. The woman's smile was like the sun breaking through the clouds, and it warmed him all the way home. That season, his yams grew sweeter, and his fields yielded a harvest so abundant, it felt like the earth itself was thanking him. The memory of his kindness became a sweet fragrance that lingered long after the bread was gone. But the tree's memory is long, and it holds the bitter with the sweet. Another branch, twisted and dark, tells of a young man named Kale. He was quick with his hands, and quicker with his excuses. One night, he crept into a neighbor's home and stole a small pouch of coins, money saved for medicine. He fled here, to the deep shade of the banyan, thinking its darkness would hide his crime. He sat right there, where the roots twist like serpents, and counted the stolen silver. But the tree was watching. The wind in the leaves didn't sound like a lullaby, it hissed his name. The shadows weren't comforting, they danced like accusing fingers. The coins felt cold in his hand, not with the thrill of wealth, but with the chill of shame. He left that day a richer man in coin, but poorer in soul. His name became a sour taste in the village, a story told to frighten children. He had hidden in the shade, but left a stain that even the strongest rain could not wash away. So you see, each branch holds a memory, each leaf a secret. The same sun that dappled on Elias's generosity cast long, cold shadows over Kale's greed. The tree doesn't judge, no. It simply remembers. It is a living library of the choices we make, a silent witness to the legacies we leave behind. Whether a blessing that blossoms, or a shame that slowly rots. I stood there, under the vast silent canopy of the ancient banyan, the stars scattered like diamond dust above its silhouette. And a question bloomed in my mind like a night flower. I wondered, why would a tree remember what men forget? We, with our busy minds and hurried lives, we cast aside yesterday for tomorrow so easily. But the tree? It just stands, it holds. And just as the question took root, an old truth, one my grandmother used to say while shelling peas on the porch, surfaced in my heart. The words of Proverbs came to me. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. I looked up at the branches, 1,000 arms reaching for the heavens, and I began to understand. The tree wasn't just wood and sap. It was a living testament to this very truth. I could almost feel the blessed memories it held. The laughter of children playing hide-and-seek among its sprawling roots, their small hands patting the trunk as base. The quiet promises of young lovers, their hopes whispered into the leaves and carried on the evening breeze. I saw the weary farmer, finding a moment of peace in its shade, his sweat cooling on his brow as he gave thanks for the rest. These memories are like sweet sap, nourishing the soul of this place. They are the reason the birds sing so sweetly in its branches, a symphony of goodness. But the tree, it holds the other stories too, the bitter ones. The whispered lie that broke a family, the secret deal made in the deep shadows stealing a neighbor's livelihood, the lonely tears of the betrayed, soaking into the soil at its base, a salt that stings the roots. These are the names that rot. They are a poison, a canker in the wood. They don't disappear, they fester, held within the tree's rings, a silent, enduring record of the decay. And that was the wisdom revealed to me as the first light of dawn began to kiss the leaves. The tree does not choose the story. It is not a judge nor a jury. It is simply a record, a living library of cause and effect. It reminds us that nothing is ever truly lost. Every act of kindness is a healthy leaf, reaching for the sun. Every act of cruelty, a slow hollowing from within. The tree does not choose the story. It only keeps the record, letting the blessed flourish and the wicked in time turn to dust. The branches that bore tales of kindness were strong and green, stretching high to the sky, but the branches heavy with sin bent low, brittle, ready to break. For even in nature, righteousness lifts, and wickedness weighs down. And so I learned, every act we sow, whether good or evil, is remembered. The soil may forget, men may forget, but creation holds the echo. One day the tree will tell your story too. Child, when you walk through this life, remember, the world is listening. Every word, every deed is written upon the branches of time. Make sure your whispers are worth remembering. This is the mystery of the tree branches. Their whispers are not of wind, but of memory. And memory never dies. If you enjoy this story, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell another friend about the wise farmer stories at Life's Lesson with Maria.